What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Adam Ant / Adam and the Ants, which is to say we've been going through the Antics in the Forbidden Zone compilation. Thank you again to Mr. Solo, which I believe is comprised of both Adam and the Ants material and some Adam Ant solo material. And we're now up to the phase of the compilation where it's related to the album Prince Charming, which I checked just to make sure it's a 1981 album from Adam and the Ants. And the first track on this part of the compilation is Stand and Deliver. Now, this is 81, or at least that's when the song was originally written, so this can't have any relation to the 1988, I believe, biographical comedy film, which is to say the story of Jaime Escalante, played by Edward James Olmos, but that is what I always think of when I think of this phrase. But yes, so the idea of being accountable, not only standing up but delivering, I suppose, is the essence of the phrase more broadly. Nevertheless, I don't know what to expect here, and indeed, on some of their songs, the meanings of the lyrics as I've caught them has been more straight away in regard to the title, in other cases a bit more opaque and cryptic, or at least for someone not really familiar with his music more broadly, or only just gaining some experience listening to his music in the last couple of years. I don't quite know what to expect. I'll see what I can catch on a first listen. This is Adam and the Ants, Stand and Deliver, included here on the compilation Antics in the Forbidden Zone. Triangle in there?
I'm the dandy highwayman you're too scared to mention. I spend my cash on looking fresh and grabbing your attention. The devil take this stereo and your record collection. Why you looking qualified for next year's old expansion? Stand and deliver your body with your life. Try to deliver.
this may be part of a new album and new section in this larger compilation, which I think is from the 90s. But it feels like we're continuing this frontier Old West rock meets tribal music meets comedy type of synthesis that I've been hearing in the last few reactions. And yeah, so number one, again, we hear horse noises and a bit of tribal chanting, excuse me, as well as lots of hoots and hollerings and sort of vocalizations that speak to, being out in an action environment where there is lots of hullabaloo going on. And if I'm hearing part of the lyrics correctly, they're the dandy highwaymen being thieves that sort of ambush passersby and travelers to rob them of their goods and take advantage of the absence of law enforcement. And indeed, they do exist on the frontiers of whether you're talking kingdoms or basically larger polities where enforcement is weak and where people can live on the margins and indeed take advantage of folks who are unable to protect themselves and where law enforcement is scarce. But it feels like there's some comedy here because he's talking about, the clothes and the style and perhaps, them being very flashy. And so, your money or your life, it's the kind of thing highwaymen say. But I wonder if, he's looking in mirrors and, talking about flashy clothes, whether there's a particular bent to it that is not so straight away. But still, the setting and the environment, figurative though it may be, does have this frontier, men on horses robbing others with, bandanas covering their faces. But perhaps this is making a statement about culture in the world of music, in the world of pop culture at the time in the early 80s. So I feel like it could be a larger metaphor. But yes, we have more of these shouting vocalizations and tribal style vocals with, again, this, guitar-led frontier Old West type of sonic atmosphere. So yes, again, it seems like it's continuing a lot of the themes I've heard up to this point, and maybe specifically in this case as it relates to clothing style, presentation of artistic style, and the perception of that relative to what is considered more normal or more standard. So yes, I'm looking forward to hearing some insights and comments on the lyrics on this one, but it's fun. Like, it's more fun and zaniness, which at least in a lot of the tunes I've heard from them / him so far seems to be the real locus or essence of what is happening. So yeah, in any case, once again, shout out to Mr. Solo. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.